بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
We all know what fear feels like, right? It's a universal human thing. And for pretty much as long as we've existed, we've been looking for ways to deal with it. Well, today, we're going to explore this powerful 1400-year-old answer to that feeling, a short prayer from the Quran called Surah Al Falaq, or the Dawn. So before we dive in, I want you to just think about that for a second. When you feel that anxiety creep in, when you're afraid, where do you turn? What's your safe harbor? This prayer offers a really specific and, honestly, a beautiful answer to that very question.
You know, what's so cool about this prayer is how it's built. Before it even mentions a single thing to be afraid of, it first establishes the anchor. It tells you exactly where your protection is coming from.
Here it is. This is the opening verse in its original Arabic. This single line is the foundation for everything that follows. So, what exactly is it saying? Okay, let's break this down. It starts with qul, which means say. So right off the bat, this isn't some quiet internal wish. It's an instruction to make a declaration, to say it out loud. Then you have a'udhu, I seek refuge. Again, this is an action. You're consciously turning towards a source of safety. And who is that source? Rabbil-falaq, the Lord of the Dawn. And that right there, that opening statement is just so powerful. From the very first word, you are defining your position and you are identifying your sanctuary. And let's really dig into that title, Al Falaq. It literally means the dawn or daybreak. You know, that moment the day splits open the night. It's this potent symbol of light breaking through darkness, of hope pushing out despair, of clarity cutting through confusion. So by saying this, you're seeking refuge with the ultimate power that can turn any kind of darkness into light. All right, so we've established our anchor. Now, the prayer starts to lay out exactly what we're seeking refuge from. And it starts with the biggest, broadest category of fear you can possibly imagine before it starts to narrow things down. The first thread it tackles is about as all-encompassing as it gets. Min sharri ma khalaq, from the mischief of created things. Just think about how huge that is for a second. This covers any potential harm from anything in creation. Whether you can see it or not, whether you know about it or not, it's this profound acknowledgement that, hey, anything that's been created has the potential to cause harm. So with this one single line, you're putting up a shield against the basic unpredictability of the entire world.
Okay, so from that massive, all-encompassing fear, the prayer now zooms in on something much more specific, something almost primal.
وَمِن شَرِّ ghaasiqin إِذَا waqab, from the mischief of darkness as it overspreads. I mean, this taps into a fear we all get, right? Darkness brings uncertainty. It hides what we don't know. And metaphorically, it can mean all those other kinds of darkness too, like times of confusion or ignorance or sadness. Just pause on that imagery. Darkness as it overspreads. You can almost feel it rolling in, can't you? And this prayer just stands up as a direct response to that feeling. So far, the fears have been pretty external, right? From creation, from the natural world. But now, the prayer makes a big shift. It turns its focus inward, to the dangers that come from human beings themselves. This next verse is super specific, and honestly, it's been the source of a lot of discussion over the centuries. It zeroes in on a very particular kind of human harm. The translation here is from the mischief of those who practice secret arts. Now, this is widely understood to mean seeking protection from harm that's done behind your back. You know, like gossip that messes up relationships, or slander that ruins a reputation, or schemes that people cook up in secret. It's really about seeking refuge from malice that you just don't see coming. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is about seeking protection from that ill will that operates in the shadows, the kind that works to undermine you and cause harm through hidden ways. And finally, the prayer lands on what is maybe the most personal, the most relatable, human-centered fear of them all. And from the mischief of the envious one as he practices envy. The wording here is so precise. It's not about seeking refuge from someone just feeling envious of you. No, it's about the moment that envy is acted on, when it's practiced. It's about getting protection from the destructive things people do when they're driven by a heart full of envy.
And that's how this prayer completes its journey. It moves from the biggest cosmic fears all the way down to the deeply personal dangers that can pop up in our everyday social and emotional lives.
So now that we've walked through each line, what's the big picture? What does this whole structure tell us about what it means to seek refuge? What you end up with is this amazing, comprehensive 4-point shield. It kicks off with a defense against general evil, from anything in creation. Then it narrows to natural evil, that primal fear of the encroaching dark. From there it gets super personal, guarding you against hidden malice, that covert harm. And finally, human malice, the specific danger that comes from envy when it's put into action. And that is the profound power of this short prayer. It's just 5 verses, but it covers the entire spectrum of fear. It gets that threats can be huge and cosmic, but they can also be really intimate and human. And in the end, it gives us a complete framework for naming our fears and turning towards a real source of safety.
So this ancient prayer really leaves us with a very modern question. In a world that is so full of its own kinds of darkness, its own hidden malice, and just a ton of anxiety, what does the act of seeking refuge truly mean to you?